Welcome to Lion Trading. Hopefully, everyone is having a good weekend. But taking a look at Friday's SPY recap before going over what to be watching Monday and into next week. So, here in the morning on Friday in the pre market brief for Discord members, I explained that you had to be watching for the 5-day moving average. Now, we had non farm payrolls in the morning, and we started with this gap up right here. And I explained that if we wanted to continue, look for this cup to close right here and a blue and yellow controlled selling algorithm to build us a handle and possibly go for a new all-time high. Like I also explained with the 5-day moving average, pay attention for if this move is formed right here. We lose that 5-day and get a move down, which we did. Now, we did not get any continuation right here because you can see how we have this support level right there and it forms this very nice inverse head and shoulder, which then we form this inverse head and shoulder again. And you can also see that cup and handle within that yellow algorithm, and you see how we start breaking out of this blue right here and finally close this level right here. So now here on the 1-minute chart, going over the microstructure and algorithms, you can see how we form this head and shoulder here in the morning, right? You see that, and we have this green algorithm which starts to taper within this white right here, and you see how we form that inverse cup and handle, and we start to get that move down right here once again, that white algorithm, and you see the green, we form this again within that green and white right here, and you have this head and shoulder, which is this 5-day moving average, which we were not below yet. We had that bounce initially, and then we formed that to the downside. Now with this 5-day moving average being right here, you can see after the move below it, we start to form this inverse head and shoulder back above right there. Now when we close this cup, we cannot form a handle within that blue to break out right here and continue grabbing this to the upside, right? Closing this cup once again, forming that handle and seeing this continuation. And instead, we once again see this green algorithm right here, and then the tapering within that white. And you see this head and shoulder back below that 5-day moving average. We close this cup. You see once again another handle, and then the breakout of white right there with that head and shoulder. Now at this point right here, you can see how we are within this blue algorithm right here, which means the selling is controlled, especially when we do not break out right here with this head and shoulder. You can see how we are beginning to taper within this pink algorithm right there, as well as forming this inverse head and shoulder right there. You can see how we have all this liquidity, and you see this cup forming right here within that blue algorithm. Once again, another inverse head and shoulder, same blue algorithm right there, and you start to see this move up. Once again, with this cup, we cannot form this inverse head and shoulder to break out, even right here, right? We do not see that continuation quite yet. Now, this whole time, if you were looking to short this, the short does not happen until right here, and I'll explain why. So you can see, right, we fail this regular head and shoulder. Even if you took it off that shoulder, right, this is still what? A 50-cent move. You have to protect, right? Rest of your position gets stopped out right there. But if you're looking to reshort this, this could be a possible head, right? You see that head and shoulder forming once again, but we cannot form that shoulder right here, close that inverse cup and break out of this white algorithm that we are in. And you see how we start to form, right, this inverse head and shoulder I'm talking about with that cup and his handle to break out of that blue. Right here again, if you're looking for the short, gotta see that head and shoulder forming to break out of this white. So now right here, as I was talking about with this cup, be looking for this handle, and if we form that, you can look for that continuation to grab this liquidity above. Otherwise, continue looking for when we form this shoulder to the downside, right? We didn't do it here, but at this point, you can see how we have that head and shoulder within there, and if you can see, there is a small inverse cup and handle. You see this move down. Once again, we close that inverse cup. You have that green algorithm, and then the white right here, we form this head and shoulder, and you start to see us grabbing this liquidity to the downside that we talked about, and you close this inverse cup right here. So with this inverse cup that we closed right here, you can see how we're still within this pink algorithm right here, and we do not form this handle. This handle does not break down. We cannot get below this level, and you see how we start to form this inverse head and shoulder once again back to the upside right here. We have this liquidity you have to be paying attention to. You see that cup that closes back at this level, and you see that handle with this inverse head and shoulder that starts to break out. We close the cup at that level right here, and from there, once again with this blue algorithm, you see how we start to form this larger inverse head and shoulder. Don't quite form it right here and continue moving up, but eventually you see how we start getting this move. Now, as this continues to head up right here, I explain if you are looking to short this, similar to right here, you see how this head and shoulder forms, this inverse cup and handle, right? We continue forming this on the way down. Be looking for that to form right here and breaking out of this white algorithm for this inverse cup and handle, which we never do. You see how that never closes, even right here, this handle. You do not see us breaking out of that white algorithm, continuing on the way down. Now, as we continue to head up right here and regain this 5-day moving average that I explained, you see how we start breaking out of this pink algorithm as well with this inverse head and shoulder that I talked about within that blue controlled selling. But as I was also explaining on the 30-minute chart, if you're looking to short this, you need to be paying attention to the purple and green algorithms right here. You can see how this purple is in control right here, and if you're looking to short this, you need to be seeing us breaking out of the green algorithm right here, which we did not do, and you can see how we form support on this level. The same thing here, like I'm explaining, if you're looking for this short, right, be looking for us to form this head and shoulder off of that 5-day moving average, and from there breaking out of that green. Otherwise, you can see, right, this inverse head and shoulder that's forming, and how we can start to form this right here and closing this cup exactly what we do. As we continue heading up, I explain you have to be paying attention for us to grab this liquidity right here. And if we want to form within this blue and pink controlled selling right here, we want to break out, be looking for that continuation, and so on, right? Now, as we continue heading up right here, I explained that you have to be paying attention for us to grab this liquidity right here. You want to see this blue and pink controlled selling right here be forming this inverse cup and handle, continuing to close the cup and forming this on the way up right here to see if we can break out of that high of day. Otherwise, to short, you need to be seeing a head and shoulder forming right here, getting below this right here, and more importantly, the 5-day moving average, which we did not close this inverse cup. You do not see that move down. And then even right here, when we do, we try to form that cup and handle. There is no continuation, and this selling comes in right here. We close that inverse cup, but this handle, right, it is not there. We cannot continue grabbing this liquidity to the downside, closing a larger inverse cup. Now, right here, you can see how we start to form this inverse head and shoulder back up, but once again, we cannot break out of this level and start grabbing this liquidity right here. It is not until here when we start to, and you see how it moves up right there, but you see within this pink algorithm right here, how we're forming this handle, which you'll be able to see here on the 30-minute chart. So you see within that yellow right there and this inverse head and shoulder, harder to see on the 1 minute. You have to be looking for this right here. You can see right there's an entry off of that, and then when we close this cup, start forming that support, once again another inverse head and shoulder, and we get this continuation throughout the day on the way up right here to wrap up the session. Now, I did take some 564 lottos right here, and I will explain why. You see how we're forming this cup and handle. Looked like we had formed that right here. wanted to get in before that move and to see if we started grabbing this to the upside and closing this cup right here, which you can see how we're forming that cup with that handle and this inverse head and shoulder, but fell just short here at the end of the day, only reached 573. But now going over what to be watching Monday and into next week. So right here, you can see how we're back above this 5-day moving average right here. Our 20 is down here. We were unable to break below it. You see how we're forming this inverse head and shoulder breakout. And now we're looking for this cup to close within this blue and yellow algorithm, forming this handle right here for that continuation, breaking above the all-time highs right here. Now, I do just want to say you cannot be looking for this breakout right here just yet, as this still can be a head and shoulder right here. Pay attention, because what can form right here is this move right there below that 5-day moving average. And then you see how this 20-day is right here as well. And we have all of this liquidity. This could be a trap right here. Close the inverse cup at the 20-day. And from there, start to grab this liquidity on the way down and closing this larger inverse cup. So with the daily chart right here, you see this 5-day moving average. We are back above it right here, and we can be looking for this. If we can break above, right, continue forming that cup and handle that we talked about. Otherwise, pay attention, because right here, I want to show you something similar. You see how we get this move up right above the 5-day moving average, similar kind of candle right there. And then the next few days, we see this decline, fakes the move above. So pay attention, right? If we fake this and start to head back down below that 5 and 20-day, you can see how this could be a beautiful head and shoulder right there. We have that inverse cup. Could see this being some sort of handle right there. Now I want to show you something as well. You can see how we are within this flag right here. And as long as we are above that 5-day moving average, we can see the continuation here on the 30-minute chart, right? You see that blue controlled selling right there and this yellow, and how we start to form that inverse head and shoulder. So if this does want to continue, be looking for that on the way up. Otherwise, you want to be seeing us back below that 5-day, breaking out of this green and white algorithm right here as well, and seeing that on the way down. Now this week on Wednesday, we have FOMC minutes release, as well Thursday and Friday being CPI and PPI, so just pay attention to those later in the week. That will wrap up the video, so thank you everyone for watching, and I will see members in the morning.